MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. It's Scotty Ray and Candace.
Good morning.
And, I was all confused. You know how when you think it's a different day, and I thought today was Thursday, and it is not.
The holiday season gets me all mixed up, usually. I'm just ready for a normal schedule to get back.
Don't worry, it's coming.
Oh,
After you get past New Year's, you won't get a day off until, what will be the next? Because you don't get anything off for maybe President's Day.
Yeah.
Maybe.
A lot of holidays fall on Monday, and I'm off usually on Monday anyway. So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, good morning to Brian Troy up also. John Talbert's up. Appreciate y'all.
Mm-hmm. Bree Packer, good morning.
Now, as we, a big subject today is going to be the weather. Earlier, the National Weather Service, and I think this has been updated, and we'll see if they follow suit with what my system has. The line was Lauderdale-Kemper County line. It looks as though, as I go back and refresh radar, they've moved that down a little bit to where the Meridian area will be a level 2 at this point. We'll get an update from them. We'll go by my radar. It never hurts to be on the safe side. A 2 and a 1, there's not a lot of difference, but you need to have a weather plan and be ready for this afternoon as we follow all of this. We want to make absolutely sure that you're safe. You know where you're going. If you have a place that you go to when bad weather breaks out, maybe it's a neighbor's or a friend's house or your own. But just make sure you've got a path and you're ready for that. I'm going to refresh this just to make sure that I'm on the up and up with everything.
So when is all of this supposed to begin?
This would be right after lunch is what we would be prepared with. This is day one. And
Great, because I'll be taking my mother to the doctor at 1.
Well, there you go. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it'll happen right then. That's the window around lunch.
Yeah.
I would bet money it'll be later in the afternoon. Now, let's pull this up where everybody can kind of see where we're at and what we've got here. The yellow area is a level 2, and this is a 1. Earlier this morning, this line cut right through here. It has been extended now to include Lauderdale and down this area into a level 2. And they just updated that just a little bit ago. And I refreshed to make sure that I didn't have the wrong information. This is a level 3. This is going to be due north of Mississippi State. Here's Starkville. This is going to be the Tupelo area, all up through here. Back over to this side right here, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, taking in all the northern portion of Mississippi, Huntsville, Alabama, you know where the rocket is?
Yeah.
All the way up to just shy of making it to Murfreesboro. Columbia, Tennessee will kind of be that line right there where everything stops of the level 3. As we come over here, let's see what this little town is. That looks like Beasley, Tennessee is where that is. If you're watching from that neck of the woods, you know Lynchburg is included in that. So we could have a severe case of weather here, especially in the northern part. Now, I do think with all models that are out there that we could see even a worse round of weather come Saturday afternoon. That's early indications. We're still days out. We'll focus on today. We want you to be safe no matter what. And let's back out where you can see the whole state pattern if you're looking at this. Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, y'all are included in this also if you're watching. It's too hot in December, and we all know that it just can't keep going like that.
That's right. It's very unseasonal right now.
It is.
It always makes me nervous when it's warm like that. I knew the other day it could not be something good to come.
I can't. Does anybody else agree with me? I can't help but think of Pebbles every time I see that on you.
The shirt.
I almost call you. All you need is a little bone in your head.
I look like I've been in a mud fight.
Oh, cute shirt. That's sort of camouflage, isn't it?
I don't know. I think it's supposedly considered some type of leopard print, but I don't know.
We'll call it mud puddle camouflage.
It's not my favorite top, but it was easy accessible this morning, and I was in a hurry.
And I didn't mean that in a bad way. It's just I think of Pebbles.
No. Yeah, it does kind of look like I need a bone up in my hair, but yeah.
They had it going on the Flintstones. It was a good show. I enjoyed that as a kid.
I did too.
The Rubbles.
Cartoons have come a long way.
They have. Now, what was it? The Expandables you watched? And that's really human-like. Everything on there.
Everything is real lifelike now. So
it is. They love Bossy's shirt, they say.
Oh, well, thank you.
We need a shirt with old Bossy written on it for you.
Don't I look like I've been in a mud fight, though, or something else?
No, it's Flintstones.
Yeah.
It's the Flintstones. But we will watch this. We will go live at any given point when a warning is issued. We'll go live to make sure you know exactly where this is. Now, I've got everything marked where we can tell where buildings are and things are, since my vision isn't the greatest right now until I get my surgery. But we'll know where everything is. I'll have help if I need to, if I can't read something. But severe weather possible this afternoon, anytime after lunch. We'll watch it, and we'll let you know and break in and give you the very latest when it comes to weather. Nothing's more important than your life.
That's right.
Absolutely. And let's be clear about this. The little fog this morning and some wet weather out there. This is where we have all of those wrecks of waiting to the last minute of people putting on brakes, or you got ball tires and you go around a curve and you can't hold it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was running this morning trying to get here, and I just, you can't go fast around curves. I mean, you just can't. So,
and everybody is guilty of, I can get a little bit more out of those tires. Well, sometimes you can't.
Yeah, I think mine now need rotating right now.
Make that fishtail, so to speak. So be careful on that. Always check your tires, inspect them there. Treat it, you're riding on your life is the way to do that.
That's right.
And go by and see them at Eastgate. They'll help you out there in Marion if you need anything like that. It is Wednesday. We do hope you got a smile on your face.
Yeah, even though you had to get up early to watch us.
Getting up
we
early.
We appreciate you watching us, though, every morning getting up. There's a lot of people. I've had people come up to me and go, I never thought that I would get up at 8 o'clock in the morning to watch a show, but I could get up every morning and watch. So we appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Let's see here. Last night there was an accident up by Anderson's Hospital over by Mr. Discount. That's sometimes hard to get in and out of when everybody's wanting their medication. They want it then. There was a little fender bender there last night. I'll say this. I hadn't got all the details, but let me word it this way. If you get up early and you go outside and you crank your car up, know your surroundings, because a lot of times it's dark. And when you go to your car, you don't know if someone's waiting in the bushes to maybe take something that you've got.
Right.
Be cautious. If you've got two sets of car keys and you crank your car up to warm up or whatever, lock it back and then come back with the other set. Don't lock your car keys up in there with it running and don't have another set.
Or if you don't lock it at night, always make sure you look and see if anybody's in it before you get in it.
And, this is somebody
People are crazy nowadays.
I'm sitting there preaching to the choir, but I am the world's worst of either leaving the car unlocked or sometimes leaving the key on the seat and forgetting. My wife stays on it. Where's those keys at?
Well, Kurt would probably slap my hand too, because I'm telling you, I'm bad about it too. But always, I do look though in my car. If I have left my car unlocked, I always look. But I try not to do that. But getting out of the car and you got stuff in your hands, in a hurry, yeah.
But just watch it, especially if you get up early. And maybe we'll have some more on this, and I'll tell more about why I'm bringing this up. But know your surroundings when you're walking out in that. Carry a flashlight, do something, flip the lights on, so that you're not just in the dark all by yourself. You got to go out at some point, but just know what's going on. Maybe have somebody watch when you go out.
Yeah.
If you're single, I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you.
Carry a big old stick.
Yeah. Walk silently and pop, pop, pop. Good morning to you. We are Scotty Ray and Candace. Let's see here. Let's see what else. Well, I sometimes can't read my writing there. This was reported yesterday. Now, they didn't catch anybody, but it was reported, and I wanted to bring it up because I got a lot of text about it, of inboxes yesterday of out on Causeyville Road. It was reported that someone done some gunfire from a white car, shot from the window. No one was hurt.
Just firing out the window?
Yeah, shot up in the air. The police arrived, but they did not. Of course, it takes a minute or two to get there. But no one was found. No one was hurt. But that was reported. I didn't want anybody to think that I didn't know about it. But it was nothing more than that.
Right.
But
Which is still dangerous. I mean, you fire something up in the air, it's got to come down if there's anybody around, Or people get hurt by stray gunfire all the time.
Well, now that you brought that up, let me see if I can find the story. And a sad story, Philadelphia, Mississippi. I don't know if everybody's aware of this yet, but the Philadelphia Police Department released a story yesterday of just what you said, a stray bullet. And from all indications, this man was so well liked in the Philadelphia area and was hit by a stray bullet night before last, I believe. Lost his life due to that. I think he was 31 years old.
His last name was Warren, right?
It was. And I was trying to locate the story, and I can't get my fingers on it at the moment. But that's such a sad case.
It is.
Right here at our neck of the woods. I hate that happening. I can't locate it for whatever reason there. Here it is, right here. The Philadelphia Police Department is currently investigating the shooting death of Tommy Warren. It occurred on Monday night. Officers have worked nonstop gathering evidence, speaking with the community, and interviewing individuals. We're asking for the community's help. If you have any information, call the Philadelphia Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 855-485-TIPS. Sad.
It is sad. So sad. I mean, it is. I hope they catch whoever did it.
That I do too. So that is one of the things that went on there. There was I got several texts yesterday about the courthouse being closed. It's not closed.
I had heard of one of the departments.
Yeah, but they got a drop box that somebody in there was sick, but you can still go up and drop your payment in the drop box there. But it was rumored at first that the whole courthouse was shut down to COVID, and that's not the case. They are there if you need to go, just that one particular office.
Which is a good precaution.
It is.
To shut that department down. You don't want to take a chance on somebody walking up in there and getting sick. So. And
we did break a record yesterday, Candace. Hot weather.
Really?
I believe it was 2015. I could be off 1 year on that before, but new record yesterday for a high. 79 degrees on December the 28th. So we went down in the record book. And today may break it again if we get to 80. It's a possibility.
Now, we're going to get really cold weather. What, Sunday night?
Sunday night. Get those blankets, and let's go ahead and start talking about your pets and things, and making sure, especially if you have a house that's elevated or a mobile home to where wind can blow under it, it can freeze your pipes. Go ahead and get those wrapped now, those outside faucets. It can happen just that quick. Even, and let me explain this. A lot of people think the PEX pipe doesn't mean your pipes can't freeze. It just means they'll swell.
They'll expand to a certain point.
Right.
Yeah.
And they normally don't bust, but you can be without water.
Yeah.
So.
But outside spigots even, cover those. Where you would hook your water hose to it.
We're going from 80 to 28, 29 degrees on Sunday night.
Right. Some people, if you don't know how to wrap your pipes and you don't have anybody to do it, or your spigots outside, you can even take an old towel, wrap it around it, take some duct tape, wrap it around that, put a what is it, a bucket or something over
a bucket.
it.
I've
Just
seen
anything.
that done.
Anything
Newspaper.
helps. Right. Anything will help. So, pool noodles. They make these.
What's a pool noodle?
Those pool noodles?
Yeah.
Those things. You can slit those if they don't have a slit in them, or wrap them around it. And
that's basically the same thing that
really
pipe is. This is called engineering over here.
It is.
This girl has done it all.
Look, I've wrapped my own spigots before many times.
And she is the one, let me just go ahead and tell you, that's been hunting out of a truck and took that same stuff and put it on the edge of the window to prop her gun on. I can feel it.
I have not. I have not done that.
Not that I've ever seen that.
Although I'm sure in high school I rode around with somebody who probably did. So, yeah.
It's one of those things. Good morning. Again, right now we're sitting at, I believe, 68 degrees, climbing toward 80. We got another 20 on the thermometer to go before it's all said and done. Woo.
Goodness.
Let's talk about what's coming on Friday night, and that is, fireworks. And Charlie is ready for you at the Red Fireworks Barn today. You'll find him out on Highway 19 South. They're going to be open all the way through the 2nd of January. I talked to him yesterday afternoon. They're all geared up. They're stocked. People are coming in, getting things early. Friday night will be a busy night. This is where you get your pops, right here. Whether you want the loud, you want the small, if you want just something for the kids to do, come on out. They'll show you. They'll take the time to help you get it all loaded up and find exactly what you need. Plenty of TVs throughout the area to look at to know what they are. Can't beat it.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't know exactly what these things do. So.
And they got a lot of new products this year. Charlie's been studying hard on it, and he points you in the right direction. You go in, I need such and such. Well, you don't know the name of it. I wouldn't either. Yeah. But he does.
Fireworks have come a long way.
Oh, really they sure have. See them today. Again, from artillery shells to it all. The Red Fireworks Barn, the largest in East Mississippi and West Alabama. See them today. They're open through the January the 2nd. They'll be there for you for the new year. See them today.
Coming home from work, I was involved in a multi-car wreck. I never saw it coming. It was obvious that I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home. And if you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
I'm Laura from Columbus, Mississippi, and it took one call and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $250,000.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. I hope your day is going well. There was another report, and I'm waiting for confirmation on this, of a possible stray bullet hitting a car that was going down the interstate last night. Have not confirmed it. That was reported. Waiting for confirmation on that. No one was hurt. I do know that. But the possibility of, don't know where it come from, how it happened, I hadn't gotten the official word on that yet. But that is out there. Something went on. I just don't have the details on it. And as soon as we get that, we'll pass that along.
But it's getting really bad with this stuff.
Well,
people don't. I mean,
and even in these large cities, and keep this in mind. This hadn't happened here. Well, maybe it did a year or so ago. Of people throwing things off of bridges onto cars.
I was just thinking about that. The bricks.
Yeah,
there was, I want to say it was some teenagers, a year or so ago, that were throwing bricks off of an overpass.
That can really hurt somebody.
You could kill somebody. I mean, you could. Somebody thinking they're doing a little prank, and it could go really, really bad fast. So,
and I say that if you're going down the interstate and you see you can't always see it, but if you see movement on top of a bridge, slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna hurt to slow down for a few seconds and go back up.
That's right.
But not to be to tell you what to do and everything, and just little reminders of as your day starts and what to look for is what we like to say there.
Yes.
Let's see here. John Madden.
I saw that this morning. Sad.
It is. Now, tell me what the connection. I remember umpteen dozen years ago, they did a special. Maybe he went to school here somewhere. But I went to, when they come out with that first game, the John Madden football game,
Right.
the Silver Star was a part of it, and I went with them for the ceremony of that somewhere in the state of Mississippi. I just don't remember where.
I don't know about that.
Again, that's a shot in the dark. That's been 20 plus years ago. But well liked.
They'll miss him commentating too and stuff. He was played a major role in doing stuff like that too. But yeah, my older son, he always had the Madden games and stuff.
Popular. But who couldn't help but like Bob Uecker? Wasn't that his name? That done the Miller Lite commercials? Yeah. That guy was funny. I liked him. So that is going on this morning. We've also had some other folks that passed away. Harry Reid, who was head of the Democratic Party in the Senate for years, he was there during Obama, has passed away. He was 82 years old. Obama is saying that he will be well missed, well liked within the Democrat Party. Here's a current picture of him recently. As you go back to remember Harry Reid, he passed away. Sad note on that.
Yes.
You hate to see that. Here's him with Obama back in 2009.
Okay.
An advisor, and of course in the Senate for many, many, many years there. He's passed away also. So that's two that we've lost. And let me bring this up. This is so sad. An NFL reporter has passed away. He was 44 years old. His wife passed away 2 years ago from cancer. They now leave an 11-year-old son orphaned. I'm sure that there's a family member that will step up, but Jeff Dickerson is his name. You don't think of someone at 44 years old passing away from something like that.
And I'm sure his wife was probably around his age, you would think.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Here's a picture of him if you ever watch ESPN. I quit watching when they got really political on ESPN. It just wasn't. That was football, not supposed to be. But
that's so sad, though.
It is.
To leave your child. I mean, that's a worry that a lot of parents have. I know, even I do. Sometimes it worries me.
And a lot of people take that next step of, you always hear, that's my godchild.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people do that next step to ensure that if something were to happen, that they would have somebody to take care of.
Because you never know. I mean, I've even heard of people being worried about something like that happening. I know you can't control sickness, but something like an accident happening. There's parents that will take a separate flight from the other with the child. I mean, I know
Right.
just in case something was to happen. I mean, I've heard of that. Not everybody goes to that extent, but you know.
And if you work for a company that piles everybody on one, not smart.
No.
That like you saw that plane that went down in San Diego. Was it yesterday?
Did they ever figure out anything? Have you heard any more about it?
I have not. Exploded.
That was awful.
Well, we got a clip of it, and I can't play it. They've got the black box, and the pilot knew right before he hit that it was over. He's pulling up, and he sees power lines, and he says some words that we can't repeat, and then they hit the power lines, and it was over. So apparently, up on flight, he put in some wrong directions and didn't pull up as high as he needed to on takeoff, and turn before he should have.
Scary. It's awful.
Know your pilots. Whatever they make, it ain't enough.
That's right.
Doctors, you always say, those doctors make too much money right up until you're sick and it hurts. And you'll give anything in the world that you got to make it go away. And they are well worth their money then, aren't they?
Yeah. I saw a thing the other day about hairstylists, about how I can't believe, somebody had shared it, and it was other hairstylists sharing it. I didn't share it, but I read it, and it said, I can't believe that I paid $40 for a 15-minute haircut, And then somebody said on there, hairstylists don't get all of what they make. We have to pay
you got expenses.
Booth rental, and you have to pay. I mean, a lot of times you'll put out $300-$400 before you ever that's what you put out every week.
Yeah,
supplies and rent before you ever make a dime. So anyway.
It's the way it happens.
But you do want somebody that knows what they're doing.
I've seen some of those. Do you ever do the bowl cut where you take the bowl and just sit on top of it?
Every day, Scotty Ray.
I was just curious.
No, I don't.
Who remembers that as a kid?
I don't do the bowl cut.
You remember that as a kid? It looked just like somebody.
Well, yeah. No, I will say my older son had a haircut that looked similar to that, but it wasn't by putting a bowl on his head. But
sure, Mom.
That was the style back then, though. A lot of people liked that, especially with little ones,
Yeah,
but,
not me.
Yeah.
Never did. That was back when I had hair, though. I could argue with people.
It reminds me of Mo. Was it Mo?
Larry, Mo, and Curly?
Which one was the one that had the hair that comes straight down? It looked like a bowl cut.
It was Mo, wasn't it?
Okay, I thought it was Mo.
I think you're right on
the
that.
Mo do.
I was over at my mother's this week, and she was watching MeTV, and that was on. Always a funny show. Those guys were good.
I used to love watching the Three Stooges.
Yeah. Let's see here. Other things, they're really trying to, and I guess we'll fall into this and talk about it, to where trying to make the president's image look better. They're all on this nationwide. And again, this week, and let me say this, you don't have as many great news stories this week. Why? Everybody's on vacation. The top reporters are off this week, and they've got some fill-in. So great stories are hard to come by, and they're pushing this one this week of Biden and his new dog, Commander. They're trying to give him a better image. These ratings of him plummet to the ground, and they're trying to give him that friendly, he's doing well.
Pet-loving.
Yeah. So here he is with the new dog.
Let's hope. And it said that he's thinking about adopting a cat. Okay.
In January.
I ain't real sure that the dog and the cat might not get along.
Now, this is after they gave away the other dog.
I know, because it bit someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or snapped at somebody.
Which tells you that he couldn't have been really that close to the dog.
Right.
Because if you were, you'd make arrangements for that. If you're a pet lover, y'all know what I mean by that. But they're really pushing this big out of the way.
I wonder if the dog ever even, if it's just there for show.
I would
makes you wonder, if they ever even interact with the dog.
$20 bill. You don't know much about that dog.
You don't even see the dog.
Yeah. They stick it in his hand and go, walk outside, Miss President.
Yeah. Looks like a police dog to me.
A little German Shepherd mixed in there with him.
Yeah.
Now, as we talk about dogs, Australia is almost to the point where they want to ban pit bulls. I saw another story to where a lady died where it attacked a child, and she jumped in to try to stop it and messed her arm up, and she ended up bleeding to death over it.
Well, that breed of dog is so strong through their front legs, in the area. They're a really strong dog. They say that they can get something down and hold it down, really. And it is scary. And Kurt's son, he's got a pit bull, and it is a sweet dog, but you never know what a dog will do. You just don't ever know.
It's like marrying this cute little blonde. You bring her home, and the next thing you know, it's...
Well, Well, you don't know. And I never would put a child around any dog. I don't think I would ever lay. I see people doing it all the time, taking these pictures, laying their baby right next to the dog. And it looks so cute. But
until he wants a cheeseburger.
Yeah, what if? Yeah, I just wouldn't take the chance.
A dog is just a dog. You got to remember that. And the bigger the breed, the more cautious you need to be, especially elderly. Watch that. But they are getting all serious about that in Australia. Of that. And what's the lady, and I know that a lot of y'all watch that show of the lady that hires the convicts, and she goes out, it's in New Orleans.
I've not seen that.
And they pick up stray pit bulls, and she rescues them, and then she adopts them out. Big show. But she moved there from California and done all of that.
Yeah. Am I wrong when I say that they're supposed to test these dogs to see if they're aggressive before they adopt them out and stuff like that?
How you test one?
Well, and I don't know how this is a fair test, because most dogs will kind of snap if you're trying to get their food. But they will put the dog around food, like a food bowl, and then they'll get like a fake hand on a stick and like go and try to. And if the dog snaps at it, they're considered aggressive.
Huh.
I don't know.
Sophie had let me take it out of her mouth while she was eating, put it back in. That's just the way she is. Now, I don't know if she'd let anybody else do that.
Right.
But she knows I give it to her, I guess, and she ain't going to fight with me. Maybe she thinks I'll give her something better.
Yeah.
Nancy Harris says it's all about how you raise your puppy dog to be.
I just know children scare me because they get down on the floor and they will crawl towards a dog, and the dog might consider that as, a threat, even though, it's a child. But anyway.
Brian Troy said pits are like exes. I'll leave that there. There's got to be more to the story than that, but we'll leave that there. But watch your pets. That's one of the things. We all love them. There's nothing quite like a dog. And again, let me bring up, with this cold weather coming in Sunday night, make preparations for your pets. They get cold just like you do. And get some hay if you got to leave them outside, or let them in your utility room if they're outside animals.
Well, I would be concerned, too, about some, stuff icing. I mean, if it's wet from the rain, be careful that something might be, because it'll be below freezing. Yeah. So just be careful.
Pit bulls and paroles. Parolees is the name of the show, Cornbread said. So
I've never seen that.
I mean, they all tatted up on there. They believe in tattoos on there, and they have to come interview you before they'll let you have the animal.
Yeah.
They all serious about it.
Oh, I saw a thing, too, the other day about the doodle dogs. You know what I'm talking about? Like doodles.
Oh, those... almost
labradoodles. And
they got the I know what you're talking about.
Sheepadoodles and all these doodle dogs. Anyway, there's a rescue thing for those, and they have to interview you too. You have to come and meet all the family members that's going to be around the dog. Has to come and sit with the dog and see how they interact with the dog before they'll allow. I mean, it's like adopting a kid.
And the dog's going, just take me home. Come on.
Just get me out of here.
Help me.
I'm having to share my food.
And if you haven't had a chance, you need a pet. They're one of the greatest things that can keep you company. You go up to the animal shelter here. The brand new building there in Marion, they can help pick you out something.
They always have cute little dogs and cats and, So check
They didn't ask to be placed there. They just want to be helped out also.
That's some of the best dogs.
Oh.
I mean, it really is.
I know it is. Yeah. You can have the high dollar dogs like JJ was, and bless his heart, he wasn't smart. He had trouble making it through this life. Well. And then there's old Sophie, who was a throw-out dog that was the best I ever had.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The New York City comptroller was one of the ones that's incoming that was for defund the police. Didn't like it. Get rid of those police. Guess what he's asking for now?
What?
He's wanting security. Now, I don't think they ought to give it to him. He was one of those, but he wants a detailed police officer to stay with him no matter where he goes in New York. You see that a lot. Even Lightfoot and all of them that complain and want to cut, they still have police security. If you're so convinced of cutting the police back and doing away with their budgets, don't ask for one of them to protect you. Give that money to somewhere else, another part of that would benefit the citizens of New York better.
Well, I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, we were talking about medical stuff and people, fussing about stuff. And I said, it's all good until it's them that needs the help.
You're right.
So
cut it back, do away with it. Boy, when you're in pain, you're willing to spend it then.
Right. That's right.
That is true. There's a lot said, and this is the same scenario here. And it's that way all across.
Yeah, it's with anything, really. Yeah.
You're 100% on that. Let's go to the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. What will you find there? Just about anything that you need in your home, from taking care of your garden, your outside, and before long we'll talk about spring. But right now, if you need to put everything around your house with some pine straw, they got in loads of it. See them today. They got this all perfect there where you can throw it in the back of your car. It won't get on anything. Won't stick to your carpet in your trunk. Sunglasses, if maybe you need some earrings for some, well, to spruce up the afternoon, I guess you'd say. Maybe that's not the word for it.
Yeah.
Blue jeans and T-shirts, they've got all of that for you there, including overalls. If you need a great pair of overalls, they'll fix you up there. A hat, anything that fits in that, and these are great ones, too. Fit to your head, perfect there. Work boots and rubber boots for when it's wet, and we're fixing to get some of that. If you don't have a good pair that leaks, maybe yours are, go by and see them today, get you a new pair, and they'll help you out there. As we go through here, anything that you need for your deer attractants, they've got for you with the tents, feeders, cameras, all of this, including scales. See them. They'll help you out there. Corn, the triple grip, including the regular corn. Also, horse and cattle. They got to eat, too. Pet supplies, guns, and ammo. Where? The Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Drop in and see them today, and they'll help you.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Greg's Fireworks in the Clarkdale community is celebrating 25 years of business. Open daily through January the 2nd with the lowest prices around and the largest selection you can find. It's heated and air-conditioned, from 500-gram cakes to novelty items like sparklers for kids, gender reveals, and wedding sparklers. And don't forget your bottle rockets. Find all of your fireworks at Greg's Fireworks, 5169 Highway 145, in the Clarkdale community, celebrating 25 years of business.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we go through this Wednesday. Good morning to everyone.
Yes, good morning. Hope you're up and at 'em this morning. It's a tough go for me this morning again.
Just wanted to sleep a little bit later?
Yeah, I did.
So while the kids are out of school and everything, do you cook big, extravagant meals to make up?
No, I don't. I don't.
Well, I got shot down on that quick, didn't I?
I don't. I used to cook a lot more than I do now. I mean, we cooked for, Christmas. I did make a Brunswick stew the other night, It's a big pot of that. So.
Do y'all want to know where it really went south on the cooking? Right there. When that got put on her finger, it went...
No, it's like, no, but when I get home from work, a lot of times, it's time to you have to get the house straight. You have to, by the time I cook and everything, it's like 8, 9 o'clock at night we're eating.
Well, that's usually not good for you.
Yeah.
That late. I hear that.
That's probably why we both put on some weight, But anyway, my New Year's resolution, like I said yesterday, is to eat better, try to, lose a little bit of
I'm getting you a
weight.
Calendar.
Mm-hmm. A calendar?
Yeah, with a little timeline. I'm going to start sending you little dings.
Okay.
Time to go to lunch now. Be back at work. Leave, quit, put the hamburger down.
Yeah, I don't even eat. That's the thing, is when you get older, you don't even have to eat all the time to gain weight. It's just like your metabolism changes and you just...
You can walk by a Little Debbie and gain 3 pounds.
You can smell a cake, a piece of cake, and just boom.
But I tell you this, the older you get, the more you really appreciate food. It sure is good. And no one will believe me on this because I was a smoker for years. And I quit 10, 11 years ago, something like that. Maybe it was 8. I don't remember. But somewhere around 10 years ago, I quit. After about a year and a half after you quit, you don't know that you can't taste food. And then one day you wake up and you have this taste again in your mouth. And you just can't stop. Yeah. And you want more and more. And the next thing you know, you're a big old boy.
I've heard people, when they quit smoking, they eat more. I mean, I have heard that.
It starts out as a habit to have something in your hands, but I'm warning y'all, where it gets dangerous is when you start getting that taste buds back, because you honestly have no idea that you can't taste. But
I can imagine. That's
just
some
my
strong,
thoughts.
That nicotine, menthol stuff. It's strong.
If I can quit, anyone can quit. Let me tell you all that. There's a lot of folks that do the hypnosis for the year. It's mine.
You just quit cold
turkey. You've got to have.
I bet you were a happy camper for.
I wasn't too bad. I was by myself. I drove to San Antonio the next day after I decided to do that, and I argued with myself all the way out there. But you can do it. There's a lot of people that go get the hypnosis for this, and they take the what do you call it? The Nicorette gum, is that what it's called? On your own. It's just willpower. You gotta. Your spouse tells you, or your kids, you're not gonna quit.
Yeah, I had a friend in high school who her mother was trying to quit smoking, and she went to this quit smoking class.
Yeah,
and they had them break up some cigarettes, like break it up and put it in a jar with a little bit of water. And and close it up. And every time they got ready to smoke a cigarette, they were to open that up and smell it. Oh my gosh, it was the worst smell. It was awful. Horrible. And as far as I know, I don't know that she's quit to this day. But I mean, I would think that. I think she did for a while. But
another great way to do that is just keep a bottle of Copenhagen where somebody spit into a Coca-Cola bottle, and you open that up, you will quit whatever you're doing. But seriously, it is all mind control. If you want to quit, you can do it. And just count to 10, take a deep breath, and hold it, and you can do it. You can quit. I did it. Let's take a stroll back on this day in history and take a look at a few things that happened. I'm sure that you're going to remember this. This was like a groundbreaking show in its day. Ed Asner, a lot of other people were on it. The Mary Tyler Moore. She was born on this date back in 1936. But she did a lot of groundbreaking for ladies when it came to television.
Yeah, she's very funny, too.
I could still see her dancing in the street. You remember that where she skipped across the street, the opening? That's been a long time. She was a beautiful lady. And I don't know much about her later career. But, boy, when she was strong, she was it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This guy is still going strong, and he was a big supporter of Trump. It's a wonder he's still around. But John Voight was born on this day in 1938.
Okay.
I think a lot of people know him. He's been in a lot of movies.
Now, this is Angelina Jolie's daddy, right?
It is. How she got a different last name, I'm not sure.
I know. I always wondered that, too.
Maybe it's a stage name.
It could be.
And then you get into the Emilio and all of those that are half brothers.
Estevez.
And Charlie Sheen. I get really confused.
Well, I think Charlie Sheen, that is not his real name.
It's not.
No. He has a name that's kind of like an Emilio type name. He has that type. His real name is. I saw that the other day. I was surprised.
But they're all tied into the Sheen somehow, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. The dad is a Sheen, and then Charlie Sheen, and then Emilio Estevez. But I think Charlie was a Estevez.
To begin with.
I think the mother was an Estevez. They took her name, and then he changed his. Okay. Is what I think I've read. So, yeah.
There you go. Rick Gardner says open heart surgery got him from smoking. It will do that for you. He was good. John Voight was good in Midnight Cowboy. I didn't see that movie. I liked it, though.
Yeah.
This guy here will go down my first taste of Texas. I remember the first time I heard that. But what most will remember him for was his songwriting ability. He did release the song himself, but he wrote it, and then later Waylon would pick it up and invite his best friend Willie to come sing it with him, and it would go down in history. And this is the songwriter of that, Ed Bruce.
Okay.
Cowboys, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. He wrote that.
Iconic song.
It was. Ed Bruce, he died last year. He was such a talented guy.
John Talbert said that Charlie Sheen, I guess that's Charlie Sheen's real name, is Carlos Irwin Estevez.
Well, you were on that one.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that. I thought that was kind of odd. But
they are good actors. I'll give them credit for that. I hadn't heard from this actor in quite some time. Correct me. Didn't he date Whoopi Goldberg one time? Am I?
I think he did. Yes, he did.
Ted Danson?
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, he did the blackface thing.
He did something.
I don't hear her talking about that though.
They were dating and he done it, or
he did.
Something.
Yeah, he did something, and so I don't hear anybody say anything against him over that. But there's been other people that have gotten that, But yeah, he did, and I watched Cheers.
Cheers, that's what it was.
Cheers, yes.
But I honestly have not heard not one iota out of that man in the last 10 years.
It's been a while.
He's remained quiet.
He did something in his later years, and I can't remember what it was, but he was always a good actor. He really was, and I liked watching Cheers.
And it was what was the blonde-headed guy that was on Cheers that went on to become
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Is that right? Woody Harrelson?
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
Woody's a good actor. I liked him.
I was really surprised that he was such a good actor later on in his later years, because on there he was good, but he was always kind of the dingy one,
Right.
on the show.
Candace was telling me before we went on, she always had a thing for men with uniforms, and she had a crush on the mailman on there. Just could be made up. I'm not sure.
I said that. Yeah, no, the mailman.
That wasn't your character.
He was funny, but yeah, no.
He went on to do. He done some commercial not long ago about the U.S. Post Office. Not long ago, I can't remember what it was, but he done an ad for them. I got this out of order. I don't know how I done this, but let's go back to 1970, and the number one song when you woke up today was. You remember her? I never promised you a rose garden. And,
I do remember that song.
She would go on to have issues later in life, but that was a big song. 1973, I really like this guy. And I hate that he lost. He went down in an airplane crash, and we lost a great musician. You knew him from Bad Leroy Brown. On this date, he had a number one song called Time in a Bottle, Jim Croce.
That was a good song, too. Mm-hmm.
You don't mess around with Jim. And he had so many operator. Mm-hmm. That was good. He was a very talented man, and no telling what we missed out on with him losing his life in that airplane crash. We would have had many, many more hits, I'm sure. But it's just, I guess you're destined to become that way.
Yeah.
I'll call this a one-hit wonder. Do you remember the song in country music called "Who I Am"? I'm my grandmother.
Yeah. I liked that song though. I thought it was a pretty song.
Jessica Andrews is who that was, and she was born on this date. I don't think she's any longer in country music, but that was her big hit, her claim to fame. And that's a little scroll down what happened on this day in history. There's some other things, but they didn't pass the who cares test.
Okay. Somebody said Ted Danson was married to Whoopi, and then I saw where somebody said that when he did the blackface stunt is when they broke up. So I don't know. May have been.
He was. They were like all together.
Yeah.
But she had a point in her career to where when she was doing the thing with Ghost.
Yeah.
That she almost seemed, and then she got really political after that. Mm-hmm. And she could have been that way all along, and we didn't know it.
Yeah.
But she played a good part in the movie Ghost. She did play that part really well.
She did. I always liked watching her as an actress.
But boy,
I
that
did.
View.
But yeah, I just can't stomach watching The View.
They come after you for sure.
I mean, yeah, I just think it's so rude to have somebody on a show and bash them like everybody. It's like watching a pack of dogs jump on
or some ants.
Yeah. And it's just like, why would you do that? It's like it's just so rude. I just think everybody can disagree, and still be civil.
There's a lot of folks I disagree with, and you just, the old saying of you have to agree to disagree sometimes. Doesn't mean you don't like one another. You just don't have the same view on some subjects.
I would think that would deter people from even wanting to go on there.
I would not go on there.
It's like, you better have your big boy pants on.
And like if I were a Democrat, I probably would not go to Sean Hannity's show because you wouldn't have a chance to say anything.
Yeah. He does kind of cut people off. I like watching the Hannity show, but
he will cut you off in a minute, and you.
And then Joe Pags, when you're listening to him on the radio,
he's a smart aleck.
Yeah, sometimes I like to listen to him. I think he has a lot of good points. But I feel sorry for some of these guests that they call in thinking that they've got a really good comment.
Right.
That he's going to just really roll with it and be on their side. And then all of a sudden, he just cuts their throat really
But
quick.
he doesn't strike me as somebody that will go down as a radio icon.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that flow. Mm-hmm. And as you said, he does. There's no other way for me to word it. I take him as a guy that is stuck on himself and likes to hear himself talk.
Yeah, he kind of is a little bit.
To where, you could sit and listen to Rush and you never got that feeling. At least I didn't.
Yeah. But I still like to listen to him. I think he makes a lot of good points. But
he does have some points. I'll give him that. He's out of
Yeah.
Austin, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is Texas, but I'm not. It probably is.
Yeah.
You probably know more than I do about it. But
I listen to very
he does all
little.
these little parody songs, though. Have you ever listened to any of his parody songs?
Yeah.
He'll take a song and do another song, change the words to something that's political, and it's usually funny.
And he can't sing though. That's where I go.
Anyway.
As we get bad weather approaching later this afternoon and you want peace of mind, this is our friends that you want to get in touch with. You can call them today, tomorrow. They're going to be there, whichever the case is. The Precast Group. You go, well, what is Precast? Well, they precast and they make a lot of storm shelters for folks. And it does bring about peace of mind. When weather breaks out, you need a place to go. These are the people to call that can make this, well, where it's not scary anymore. You've got a place that you feel safe, that you can go in and stay till the storm passes. They can put it in your home as you're building it, or right outside, solid steel doors. They're made of concrete. This particular one weighs over 20,000 pounds. It's not going anywhere. It's attached to the concrete pad there. Won't budge. They'll show you plenty of pictures of what it looks like after a storm has passed with one of these. Or you can get them put in the ground outside. However you want to do it, it's peace of mind. The Precast Group here in Meridian, 482-0003. Find out more and just see how affordable it is. See them today. They'll help you a whole bunch.
I'm Michelle from Oxford, Mississippi, and it took one call, and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $287,500.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
Oh, you have to hit the button when that ends. Whoops. Scotty Ray and Candace, and good morning to you. We're so glad that you spend part of your day with us. We can't thank you enough there. Let's see. As environmentalists, and I have nothing against environmentalists before I say this. They do their thing. I don't quite believe in everything they do. But when it comes to my dog, you're getting on my bad side. And they are trying to encourage people, and I guess you would... to prevent carbon emissions. They're trying to get people to feed dogs crickets. Now, Sophie enjoys a good chase in the yard with a cricket.
Right. Most animals do like
It jumps and they go
like
after
that.
it.
Yeah, my dogs are like that too. Ours.
But she does like meat, and she likes a lot of it, and especially if you cut it up for her. And I don't see our dog changing their diet to make y'all feel better about yourselves.
Right.
But they're convinced that if you were to feed your dog crickets from now on, that the environment would be better. I'm going to leave that there, not getting in an argument with any of them. But
I wonder if they eat crickets.
you know, what was that I was watching? Saved by the Bell the other day, where they had chocolate, and they do have these chocolate-covered crickets. People do eat that.
I've heard of chocolate-covered ants, chocolate-covered crickets, insects. I'm going to stay away from the insects.
This girl here, make no mistake, she's into pickled pig feet. I've seen seen the jar at your house. You got them tongs where you pull them out.
Oh, no.
There are a lot of people that really like that.
That is the worst looking thing.
You don't see
That's like
it.
you cut, like you just went out in the field and cut something off an animal and threw it in a jar.
That's what it is.
It's awful.
But
how does anybody's stomach
has
eat
the
that?
old country stores kind of faded away to where they used to always be on the counter when you had that old foot floating up there?
Yeah, that and the pickled eggs that look like they dropped some red dye in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
When I worked at when I was in high school and college, and I worked at Bailey Grocery, I'm telling you, Saturday morning you sold some pickled pig feet.
Yeah.
Just flop, you'd wrap it up, and they'd run off with it.
I just can't imagine. I mean, I'm not saying if I was starving to death and there was nothing else left in the world, you know, I probably would stomach eating one, but that's the only way. You know, somebody said don't feed your dog chocolate, which I know that for sure.
They'll get sick.
Do not. I've heard it does something to their kidneys, but I'm not sure. So
Yeah, that's real bad on a puppy dog.
Yeah, don't do that.
And I have to, if you drop a piece of like chocolate chip cookie in the house, you got to be getting to the floor to get it first before the dog gets to it.
Yeah.
Or candy bar. You can't let that happen there. Let's see. The father who done the Let's Go Brandon said that everybody that's trying to cancel everyone for saying that says, you know, you need to step back, even though that saying is vulgar, and really look at what America is trying to say, that the administration is really running the country down, and that's why the saying is so popular. He has a point.
Yeah.
Well,
they are running it down for sure, directly into the ground. I mean, I don't think, like somebody said not long ago, I don't think you could do it any better it's like they're trying to do it on purpose.
It's like they got a playbook.
Right. It's
But he does have a point there, and I have to give that guy kudos on being the cleverest there ever was to slip that in on national television.
at the end.
Yeah, and he did.
Which, you know, probably was his main reason for calling.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
But I would think that you have to be screened and all this stuff before they'll let you talk to the president. You would think.
Yeah.
But he slipped it in.
Well, he probably did, you know, was real convincing that he was.
I shared this yesterday, and I don't know how many people got a chance to watch it live, as they did find the box that was buried with Robert E. Lee's statue. It was a copper box about yay big, and they meticulously took everything out of it. I have not heard, as they've gone through and separated today, if they have come up with the Abraham Lincoln photo that was supposed to be in there. There was a lot of coins and books, and it was in a wet place, but by and large, it was dry for what it had gone through that many years.
It's always neat for somebody to dig something like a time capsule.
The headline says it did not have the picture of Lincoln in there. It had an illustration of Lincoln's grave. So it was, through the years, that was just typed wrong of the journalist that was there back in 1887.
Okay.
Because I kept waiting for him to pull it with this picture that no one else knew, and it never came out with each page that they pulled out of there.
Goodness.
And so what would a time capsule of today's time contain? It makes you wonder. If you were to put it in,
like put stuff in here from now.
Yeah, 150 years they open it up and they go, "Ooh,
have a vaccine card."
Them people had some issues. Is probably what they'd be thinking.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that each day that there's a time capsule buried somewhere.
Yeah.
If you want to do a good prank, I guess this is the latest thing. It happened to a Tennessee man. I think his wife did it to him. They went to the beach, and she got him a new pair of swimming trunks.
Oh, yeah.
The problem was they were dissolvable swimwear. Once he got into the ocean, he had no pants anymore. They dissolved, and he was purely naked.
I think I saw this video a while back, or maybe this is another one. I don't know, but I saw one like this, and it was so funny because he was hollering at his wife, "Bring me a towel."
You can't blame him.
Yeah. I mean, that would be horrible.
Now, the people on the internet are jumping on the wife very hard, saying that she's cruel for doing that. But
Well, I think if on this video she was laughing.
Yeah.
She was just hilarious.
This will be a family get-together every Christmas. They laugh about it from now on. And it would be fun. Let's just face it, that would be if your spouse didn't see that coming.
Yeah. He would probably, I guess depending on the person, some people might just walk right on out of the water.
There are those that do that. We have seen him. Like, we got one in Meridian that runs around. We call him Naked Man.
Yeah, Naked Man.
He has sure been quiet for the last 2-3 weeks.
Thank goodness.
And somebody needs to tell him that cold weather is coming up on Sunday. He might want to get some clothes.
That's right.
He gonna know about it. Let's see here. What else is going on this morning? I don't know how to even quite word this, but the numbers that we were given last week of the Omicron, where it was taking the nation at 73%, turns out they were wrong. And the new amounts was really only 27% contributed to that. It was the old virus that was still bad. Only 23, I think it's 23% here. As we look at this, responsible for 22.5% last week of new cases. And they had said it was 73%. So the CDC made a big boo-boo last week. It wasn't near as bad as they made it out to be.
Yeah. I think there's probably a lot of that going on because I've heard just inconsistencies of, of numbers.
Right.
Inconsistency along the lines of the numbers. But.
That number, that is like major difference.
And they keep changing. Yeah, and they keep changing all these things that you're supposed to do, 5 days, 10 days. I don't think anybody knows anymore what they're supposed to do.
That's right.
So.
Don't forget, if you're a big fan of Chris Reid, if you'll go down to yesterday, we posted a video with former Chief of Police Chris Reid as a special guest on Secrets from the South, the podcast. And Chris goes through a scenario of, as you always, protect himself. If you go into a convenience store or any store and you're standing around, what to look for when things are fixing to go south. What to look for when it's time to get out of there. Somebody's going to do some bad things.
Yeah.
Gives you some tips on that. It's a great story. So I hope you'll visit that. And also we'll have that posted to southernmedia.network.
Right.
So check that out. Sam Media Network. Godwin Cleaning Services, they take care of a lot of things there for you. Godwin, they're there for you, whatever the case may be. When it needs cleaning, whether it's a home or an office, Harry Mayer has had them come out and clean their awning. There's been a lot of businesses done this. The residential and commercial, as I said, no matter where it is, they can remove all of this. This is the pictures that you see here. I know you've seen them before. The brick, the vinyl, the metal, getting all this. They can even get the rust removal taken care of. Make it look new again on these metal buildings. 253-8262. It won't cost you anything for them to come out and give you a quote. Most of the time, this can be done in a couple hours. Depending on how big your project is, from your sidewalks to your driveways, making them look fresh and new again, to the brick on the side of your house and the roofs, whether it's asphalt, slate, or shingle, see them. They'll help you there. Here's some rock that's been cleaned and looks totally different. You wouldn't even know it's the same.
It really does.
They can even do fleet washing for you. Again, Godwin Cleaning Services. Let them restore everything at your home, make it look good, or your business. That Mississippi office number is 601-253-8262.
I spent weeks in the hospital due to a careless driver. I could no longer afford to do it alone. I knew I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
And apparently Nancy's already watched the podcast. I was asked about the YouTube channel. I'll share a link to that here in a little bit on the page, but it's Sam Media. And we'll put it up here, a link, so you can link to it and do that. Also, if you follow the link from the Chris Reid guest that goes to that channel, if you click that, that's the channel.
Yeah.
Pretty easy there.
Yeah, and it looks like somebody has changed the name of our show to
What is it
Scotty
now?
Ray and Bossy Show.
And y'all just imagine how someone's
bossy.
world is a few miles away from here. God bless them. We pray for him each night here.
Look, I am not bossy.
Sure.
I'm not. I'm opinionated.
They're really the same. You just hadn't looked in Webster in the last 3 to 4 years there. Let's see some other things that are going on. And if you've got a community event, let us know about it. It's been kind of slow in between the New Year and Christmas of things going on. But if you've got an event coming up, let us know about it so we can share it with others so that they'll know about it. Flu is making a comeback. We've talked about this several times. Wipe everything down before you touch it. Wash your hands. We don't want you getting sick. Still cases of this going around.
Yeah, and it's a bad one too. It's not a good strain at all.
Apple stores in New York have all shut down due to the COVID thing. They're kind of scared of it, so they've shut down their operations for a few weeks until this passes. Let's see what else has happened here. Japan, they're one of those countries that you do the crime, you do the time. They have executed, and they've gone back to hangings in Japan. They make an example. You don't sit around for 20 or 30 years and smile at people there.
Well, I think that's crazy anyway that they have people in jail for that long when they've murdered people and they know it, and it's
without a shadow of a doubt
evidence about it, you know.
One of the other things that I saw, did you see the story of the young girl? I think it was a young girl that was in a dressing room and the cops got in a shootout with a bad and a stray bullet killed a young lady in a dressing room. And that was in Los Angeles that happened. Condolences to their family. It was not meant to happen. And everybody in it feels so sorry for the family that
awful.
did go.
14 years old. Goodness.
Rick Gardner says he visits our YouTube channel when he's in Facebook jail.
Oh, okay. That's good. Well, that's a good place to.
Been a lot of folks arrested and put in there before.
I saw a coffee mug that said repeat offender, Facebook jail.
That's too funny. Morgan Wallen, if you remember, who there for a while was banned, canceled in country music, had the biggest selling album of the year in country music. I've never listened to any of his music, but that's the headlines of that. So there you go. We want to say thank you for dropping by and spending a little time with us today.
Yes, it's always a treat getting to be on here every morning and read your comments and interact with you. And if you don't interact, you can always go to, if you watch us on TV, on 248 on Comcast, MeTV, you can always interact with us on Facebook and YouTube. I had a brain freeze there from
I have those too. Don't forget, should the weather turn bad, we'll go live, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, and if it's really bad, we'll go live on television as well, on all the networks here with 24.
Yes.
So be careful. We'll watch the weather for you and give you reports street by street as this comes about. Again, thank you all for dropping by. And Bossy says,
have a good day. Be careful.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by